Hi everyone, Smooth Thinny Face Tano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it is time for a review of the brand new collaborative record from Tobacco and Aesop Rock, Malibu Ken. Malibu Ken, a new record and a collaborative duo consisting of lyrical mastermind Aesop Rock and Black Moth Super Rainbow main brain Tobacco. Two names I hope that you are familiar with at this point. If not, Aesop Rock is unquestionably one of the most creative rappers of our time. His style might not click with you, but his dense and esoteric verses and dizzying rhyme schemes are really something to behold, even on his most subpar releases. Meanwhile, Tobacco has been on the cutting edge of electronic psychedelia since Black Moth Super Rainbow broke through in the mid-2000s. Since then, he's been putting out a lot more solo material, some of which is pretty standout, especially Fucked Up Friends and Ultima 2 Massage. So essentially two of the underground's most consistent weirdos coming together for an entire project. Pretty exciting, even if it is just 10 tracks and 31 minutes. On Malibu Ken, Aesop's lyricism is sharper than ever, whether he's going on these hilarious diatribes about how gross and reclusive he is, on Corn Maze and on Tuesday. Tracks that sort of make my skin crawl and make me want to start a GoFundMe to send a cleaning service to Aesop's place like once a month for 6 hours. We also have the track Suicide Big Gulp, you can check the lyrics right here, which is a rarely braggadocious moment for Aesop where he's talking about just like slapping planes out of the sky. There's also a moment here where he's cutely building up the mythos of his collaborator Tobacco on this one too. Almost has like a slightly MF Doom kind of quality to it. And of course there are moments on Malibu Ken where Aesop reaches outside of himself and picks on some very strange topics that nobody else would think to even start to make a song about, like a hoarder. He just sort of finds beauty and finds utility in the weirdest stuff that most songwriters out there are completely ignoring. On Acid King, Aesop dives into the sensational Ricky Casso murder. He drops rhymes about the dude's lifestyle, the drugs he did, the music that he listened to. It's weird, it's scuzzy, it's entertaining, and somehow more informative than like Googling about it. The song CHURRO, weirdly enough, is about bald eagles living in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Specifically two that were known to have nested near the city. Then a webcam was set up to observe them, and then one day they turned up on the webcam feasting on a cat that one of them had caught, which caused quite a bit of controversy. Aesop Rock spares no gory details in the lyrics, and cat lovers will most likely scream in horror at this track. Meanwhile, those with a darker sense of humor might quietly chuckle. 1 + 1 = 13 is a witty track diving into superstitions, with nods to 13 and glass houses and showing me a sign, blowing on dice, 2 lucky socks not matching. As far as Aesop goes on this thing, I don't really have that many complaints. I mean, a few of his hooks are kind of clunky, but that's about it. For the most part, his lyricism, his topics, his personality, his character, it's all great. The instrumentals, in my opinion, are really where this album falters just a little bit. The vocoder vocals and some of the choruses Tobacco brings to the table are sort of mushy and nondescript, very samey. They definitely could have popped with more defined melodies or maybe less manipulation to the vocals that kind of just took away their muscle, their detail. For the most part, the singing on his end just feels like a formless blob, just a little bit more than usual, which I get it, it's kind of his calling card to manipulate and layer his vocals so heavily, but it just seems like a little too much on this record. Also, I don't think the beats are really that varied across the entire record either. I mean, sure, there are some kind of aggressive spots here and there are some kind of low-key spots here and there, but for the most part, they are uniformly scuzzy and kind of trippy, somewhat lo-fi, a lot of buzzing synth leads and some warm chords that kind of wash over you. While the beats aren't super intricate, they do lay a really nice foundation, and they have a very freaky and colorful aesthetic that brings Aesop's verses alive. The closer, in my opinion, is kind of underwhelming, and overall the brevity of the project makes it feel a bit more like lightning in a bottle than something that's been labored over for a very long time, or something that's just more conceptual. But I don't think that takes away from most of Malibu Ken's enjoyability. If you're looking for a hip-hop record that is tight, it's heady, it's abstract, it's witty and consistent and has quite a bit of character to it, then I would say unquestionably give this a shot. I loved it. I wish there was a little bit more to it, more versatility, more ambition, but I still thought this record was essentially pure fun for total weirdos. I'm feeling a light to decent 8 on this thing. Transition, have you given this record a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best, you're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe and please don't cry. Hit the bell as well. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, Tobacco, Aesop Rock, Malibu Ken, forever.